Welcome back. This is Professor Lucien. This is the demo for week 2 for the loss run data analysis for 43 occupational safety management for spring 2022. And so where I left off, I did the distribution. It's all pretty looking. Hopefully you all played with it. So the next step, I'm going to go right back to the help document. The next one is to do the outliers, and we want to see how many of the most expensive claims should be removed from the trending analysis. We're going to do the analysis both with and without them, but first step is to see, it's another investigation into the quality of the data. So I'm going to copy my descriptives to a new tab, and I'm going to call it Outliers. So in order to identify the outliers, I need to put a filter on the header row. So highlight the row 1, go to data and filter, and then move over here. And I got to sort total paid high to low. So largest to smallest. Remember, and I got to put these in. We did up to 20 before. I'll see how many we have to do here. I know in class, I think we were playing around with the idea of 40 or something. I mean, we could just look and see where things jump off real quick. Like there's probably one right here, like at 41. Oops, didn't do it, 41. But I wouldn't think we'd have to go any further than that. So what we do is now we highlight the total paid. Takes a little while to scroll. And we're going to look and see where there's a natural break in the total paid from claim to claim. So now what we're doing is we're graphing all the total paids for all the claims. Oh, where are you going? Where are you going? It's because I'm doing this on WebEx. No. I'm recording this, and so it's acting weird. There we go. It's all highlighted now. Go to Insert. We're going to do it by bar graph again. Bring it over here to the right. Yeah, that's probably a good spot for it. And expand. And this is a visual inspection for big breaks. So we've got some, decent ones up here. Of course, we knew we would. Not going to be above 50 grand, that's for sure. So it looks like there's one right here, 0.20. It looks decent. Looks like, I might have one right here at 19.5. I think that's the one I identified before, at 0.41. I think in class I may have taken 0.34, maybe. You don't want to cut off too much. What's this one here? 0.21. Then it goes there and it kind of jumps a little bit. That looks like the next most significant one, 26. So 0.34. I'm going to go take a look at 0.34. Okay, 0.34 is right here. So it jumps from 26 to 22. That's where it would be. All right, let's see what happens. So I'm going to highlight the rows down to 34. See, it jumps from 26 to 22. That's where that jump is. I'm going to do a Control X. Go down below here. I think I'll just put them right here. Okay, so we've got the top 34. How did this change? Sorry about that. I just spread pepper on a pork tenderloin and my sinuses are burning. All right, so it looks like we could have done it right there too. And right there. Otherwise, it looks pretty smooth. But the problem is we're down to 1.293 million. And you want to have at least a little bit of meat on the bone. Is there anywhere else that this may have been at? Like right here, that looks like it's a big amount. Doesn't change much. Doesn't change much. I mean, we could go down to 20. I think 21 is what I might have done in class. What is the percent down to now? 1.77. It's very good. Yeah. That's interesting. It might be better to do the annual averages before we really make a decision. Gee, that's nice too, down to 41. But I'm going to be taking out another 100,000, right? Let's see what happens. All I'm really doing is just trying to get rid of the really expensive claims. I can look at them separately. Taking out 41 now. I'm down to 1.15 million. The average is that. The medians, wow, they're really close together. This is down to 145. You know, yeah, there's that jump right there where it goes from 13 down to 11 something. That would be ideal, but I've already taken out 41, which is what percent have we removed? Let's see. We've removed, so I put equal, I clicked on 41, I'm dividing by 717. So I removed about 5.72%. That's a decent amount. And I wonder how much total that accounts for. Equal sum, and I'll add all these up. $3 million have been removed. Is that right? Let's see. Yeah. And how do we have $1 million left? That would mean the total was like 4 million. Is that what it was? I thought it was... No, it was 3.7. Something's wrong. Something is definitely wrong. What did I do? Did I do the wrong one? Did I add up these? Or did I add up something else? I did. I add up the total incurred. That's why. So you got to check your work, right? So it's about $2.5 million here in Outliers. It seems like a pretty low cut to me. I do think that's kind of a low cut. So I'm going to take one a little bit higher. I do think that that jump there seems to be... Yeah, I've spent way too much time thinking about this. I'm going to go ahead and put these back in. So... Wait. Yeah, I'm the top 20, so it goes down to 21. Did that work? 20 down to 41. I assume that worked. Okay. So I think that's what I'll go with. Let's take a look at it again. Yeah, you know, there's some points up here. It's almost like we should take that one out too. So we get that. Yeah, I'm going to take that one out too. All right, so we're taking out 21. That's what I'm going to go with for now, but I can go a little bit higher. I know I can. A couple things we want to do when I find out what we have here for the new total. So this is what was removed. To compare what was there before, I'm going to go equal sign. Actually, I'm not going to do the equal sign thing because it didn't work in class. So this is the original. So I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to leave a couple spaces there. I'm going to paste special. So special paste. And I want it to be linked, I think. Special paste. I want to do the values. Operation. Nope. Okay. All right. It's still Arial. I made it small. So that's 717. How many did we remove? 21. So it's 21 minus this. So 17 and 4 is 21. So it's going to be 696. right? 696 plus 21 is going to be 717. Yeah, there we go. So now you can see the descriptive statistics with and without outliers. You see, that's what I was trying to do. Long story short, I guess. Here, I'm going to copy and paste that. Get that to bold. Let's see, these two, this is a dollar amount. So it's currency. And it's good for you to keep practicing on how to set these up. Average and median, they're both currency. That's account, average and maximum, currency. And 2 percentages. Yep. So that went from 7.37 to 2.22. So the maximum claim is $38,000 versus 274. The average and median are much closer together than they were here. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with for the next one. All right, so copy and paste. So now we're going to do annual trending. We're going to do it with and without the outliers. So this is going to be annual. I'm going to do it first with the outliers. Or remember I did in class a really cool thing. Oh, first thing, file, save as. It's in the same, so this is going to be week 2. So my week 1 stuff is not going to change now. There. I'm going to bring my outliers back. Cut. Paste. All right, they're back. And now what I want to do is sort by calendar year. Or I could just do it by date of injury. So filter by date of injury. Did that work out? Yep. See, that worked on mine, but I don't think it would work on yours. Remember, it's kind of screwy. You have to like highlight the whole thing and do it. So what do I have here? I've got these now should be the same. Yeah, everything's the same because the outliers are back in. So that's with it out. I don't need this anymore. All right, everything seems to be equal. I usually put like a differential in here so you can see the difference between the two. I can always add that later. So what I want to do is now create a table. Copy. Give it a couple spaces too. And if you're to look back at the help document, so annual trending, we want to create this, you know, the year entry, the count, the medicals, the average. And then we can do a range and we can look at the number of $0 claims to find out where they are, the number of open claims, percent open claims, max claim. We can kind of see where everything kind of lies. I think that's kind of a neat thing. This, yeah, I got to remember why I did this. Oh, the range can figure out itself by doing something here. Oh, it's because I used this, I think. I'd have to reread that. I've tried that. I was getting really creative that semester. All right, so this is going to be the count. This is going to be the calendar year. All right, so I can do this because I'm not really messing with those anymore. The years go from 2015 to 2016 all the way to 2021. Doesn't seem like that many, does it? Oh, and you always, now we got to start putting in a total so that we can track to make sure we're not missing anything. All right. Get those bold. The count doesn't have to be that big, but this could be a little bit bigger. All right. I tend to like to make these all the same size. Okay, so year, what column? Year is in H. So this is going to be column H. I just put that in there to remind myself. All right. Now, count equal, count if H2 to H718 is what's in that cell there. Now I need to freeze the rows, so I can just click and drag. And then I'm going to add them up to make sure it's 717. It is. Now I'm going to go equals SUMIF. And the first range is the criterion, so that's H2 to H718. If it's that year, then add up S2 to S718. Gotta turn that into currency. Take away the pennies. Now I gotta do some freezing so I can click and drag it. So the original set of calendar date entries or calendar year entries, I need to freeze all of that because I need that to stay the same whether I go up or down, side to side. For the criterion, the year there, I just need the column to stay the same. I do want it to go up and down. Oh, I gotta freeze the column, yeah. I want it to go up and down as I go up and down. But that's different than the paid amounts. I want the rows to stay the same for that. So click on this, drag it down one way, drag it this way, add it up, and then I'll compare it to my table up above there, make sure it's the same. So that and that, this and this, this and this. Yep, it's all the same, so I know everything is covered. So now let's go ahead and graph this. I can do year and count. Because we have 2021 is all done, we're in 2022 now, and the count won't change, I can go ahead and just create a scatter plot. So it's insert scatter plot. This is my count. And I can add a trend line. And I can actually forward that a couple of years and add a R squared value. So not a great R squared number. There's a big jump here in 2020, and we know why. It's because of the COVID stuff. So I'm going to actually investigate the COVID. I knew that would probably be an issue because of the industry we're working on. And if anybody read the most recent BLS Survey of Occupational Injury and Illness news release, this industry, the NAICS 623, had the biggest jump, and it was mostly illness related. And so that's what we're seeing here. So I want to analyze this with and without. So this is the annual, and I might do one without and see what happens. So I'm going to copy this. No, I'm not going to copy it yet because I want to create the total paid first and then see what's going on. So I've got the total paid here by year. I wonder if I highlighted all this, but I'm probably not going to want to do 2021 because those are still going to be green. Let's see what happens when I do this. Yeah, that's bad. I'll have to do one at a time. Go up to 2020. Insert scatter plot. So what I can do now is I got to right click on a data point, hit select data. So this is my data source. If I edit what I just entered, see no X values are here. So I click on that, highlight 15 to 21, hit OK. Hit OK, and you can look at it. So now the years are here, and I could do same thing I did on the last one. I can add a trend line. I can forward it, but this time I'm going to forward it 3 years and add an R square value. So it goes to 2023 here on both of them. Really bad R squared. Really bad. We'd like it to be at least above 0.5, ideally above 0.7 or 8. So they're both low. And this appears that things are getting better. I mean, they're paying less per year, overall trend, but we've got 3 high years and 3 low years in between there. But this also includes the outliers, which definitely adds skewing. We can also enter in these other things if we want to, but I kind of want to do it with and without. And that might get kind of screwy. So here, I'll show you what you can do. So you select data, hit add, and then for name, I'm going to do medical because we know that's about 50%. The X series, 15 to 20, and then the Y series right there. Hit OK. So see, it now added these, and this is, I'll add the trend line, and I'll go forward 3 years. I could also then add a, what do you call it? A legend. Yeah, see, the numbers are still not that good, right? Yeah. I think we can add a legend right here. I usually put it below. Let's see here. Yeah, that's better. So play around with that for sure. So I put in the medical and I put in the total paid. Medical stayed pretty consistent. Our squares are still not that good. So I'm going to copy the work I just did into a new tab. First thing I could do is remove the outliers. I have to sort though so I can get to them. So highlight the header row. I'm going to filter and then go total paid, largest to smallest. And what did I take out again? I took out 21. So I'm going to take out the top 21. Cut. Go down below. Paste. All right. So now these numbers have changed. You can see here. I'm sorry, these changed. So now we're down to 1.7 for total paid. It used to be this amount. Down here, we're at 1.7. You see, we can match them up here. Yeah, that didn't change too much. Okay. These changed, but these numbers are still based on the previous tab. So I need to update them. Now, we're not going to get much of a change for the count. There's 21 less. I could still do it. Select data. I got to go to my sheet. I'm going to add series name. I got to make sure I'm on the right sheet. This is going to be count. No outliers. Oh, maybe I'll just say less 21 outliers. I don't know. I can do whatever I want, right? Okay, whatever. Series name, less 21 outliers. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to let me do that or not. We go all 21 for the X, and the Y is right here. See what happens. No change whatsoever. I thought there'd be more. Maybe it's because I named it weird. It wouldn't let me do it. No? Weird. Very weird. There should be 2 sets of data. Edit. Did that change it? It didn't. It's just there's so few difference that you're not going to see a lot of difference. But we're going to see it here for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and click on here. Select data. I'm going to add one. And I'm going to... I'll see if I can type this in. Total paid. Why did it do that? Series name. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to try not to mess with this too much. I'm afraid I'm breaking the matrix. All right. And now let's put in the Y values. Okay. So these are, I go up 3 years and R square it. So it, trying to find out which one it is here. It looks like it didn't change a ton. You can see it went down substantially for certain years. But it's increasing. The R square is a little bit better. Should we try it with medical? Is the medical going to change? No, the medical wouldn't change much simply because it's the indemnity that changed a lot. These are all indemnity claims. Next thing I'd like to try is I'm going to do the total again. I'm going to remove the COVID. To do that, I'm going to have to highlight the header row and turn it into a filter. And now I'm going to have to filter it by, let's see what the COVIDs are called or where it's located. Okay, so I'm going to do it by K here. I'll just do A to Z, and I'm going to go to COVID. I'm going to remove these. Cut. And paste. Okay, so now that's removed. And these are without, this is with outliers in, by the way. Let's see if it changed anything. How many did we remove? A lot more than... Oh! There's a lot. We got to count these. That's substantial. So let's do that. Oh, and look, we have some outliers here. So I want to kind of leave that. 1, 2, 3. And run this down. So we have 3 outliers right there. Is that it? So 220. I wonder how many that is as a percent. So equal 220 divided by 717. So approximately 30.7% of the claims in this data set are COVID related. And that's just in the last 2 years. I think that's pretty substantial. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I'm like thinking, and yeah, 30.7%. Let's see how much it changed everything. So I'll redo this. Select data, add a new count. Let's see, X values. I got to make sure I'm in the right one here. From here to here. And the Y values are right here. Yeah, it did change, didn't it? So that was based on, so blue, let's try yellow, add trend line. Wow, we're going to extend it. So if we took out COVID, I'm just going to extend it by 2 years and give an R squared. Oh my gosh, look at this. From a count perspective, oh, this is interesting. This is really interesting. And this is with outliers included. This is with COVID cases. And remember, we had a huge spike here, which was really weird. R square is really low. Took out just the COVID cases for 2020 and 2021. It's a lot of them. I mean, 30% of them. But look at that line. We have a 0.763. So it looks like the number of claims are going down. So overall, how is the performance of the safety program? It looks like it's doing pretty good, but it looks like COVID really messed things up. All right, let's look at the paid amounts. This is really interesting. I'm getting close to that 30-minute mark. So select data. I'm going to add one. The X values are right here. We're not going to include 2021. Y values. Okay. All right. So I believe it's the gray that was just added. Add a trend line. And we'll go forward 3 years. We'll give an R square. Okay, what did we get? Well, it looks like they're disappearing. That things are going really well when you take out COVID. Do you all see this? So with the COVID cases in there, our R square values were really poor. Mostly because it's 2020 is the only one affected. We did include 2021 because there's a lot of open claims, which I'll show here probably in another video or let you figure it out. But man, it looks like it's going down to nothing. That's really interesting. So let's see what happened to medical then, okay? So I'm going to go select data. I'm going to add one. This time I'm going to do the medical. I mean, I should be using better labels, but because the video is going quick, so it must be yellow. Add trend line. We're going to go ahead 3 extra years and add an R squared. And I don't know which one it is. Is it this one? I think it is. Right? So so here's R squared values for when COVID was included. This is with them removed. We'd like to have it at least above a 0.5. It's much more consistent, but it is going down. Is it going to get to 0? Theoretically, but if we have a lot of open claims in 2020, this would tilt up. I'm going to do one more thing really quick. Copy. And okay, this is really messed up. I'm gonna have to go back and save my work. Go back and label things here, but we're getting over that 30-minute mark, and I didn't want to. So this is with the COVID cases missing. I need to close this gap so I can sort by high to low, and then remove the most expensive claims. Really gonna getting down to stuff here. Delete, and that collapses it. So now I can go up to the header row, turn that into a filter. Data, filter. Filter by the most expensive claims. High to low, largest to smallest. So over here, we've got a few missing. We're just going to go down to 21. That's what we had agreed to. And hit cut. So some of these outliers are... where did I go? Some of these outliers are in here. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. Yeah? So those are all the COVID cases. We can look at those, but we know that they're required. These are the outliers because they're more expensive. So let's look and see how that changed things. So there were now 17 outliers just removed. All right, so I really need to identify this series. Can I change that? No, I don't want to delete it. Do I have to go add? Oh, select. Okay. So this first one is, can I name it? Edit. Series name. Total paid, no COVID. I'm going to say COVID removed. Can I do that? Did it do it? Oh, check me. Edit. This is medical paid. Paid med COVID removed. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so let's see where it's at now with the so X values. Now we've got the what do you call them? Now we have the outliers removed. We're just going to go from 15 to 20. I'm just going to look at the total paid. I should just remove the medical because it's just going to mess us up. There we go. Okay. And now I'm going to edit. I'm going to type in total paid, COVID, and outliers removed. Okay, it's blue. Hit OK. I'm going to remove the medical here in a second because it's confusing us. We're going to go forward 3 years, bring it up to 2022, and get an R-squared value. All right, so I'm going to go back in here because there's too much here. Select data, and I'm going to get rid of the paid medical. And I'm going to get rid of the paid medical with COVID removed. Yeah, okay. All right, let's open this up. Make this bigger. So what do we have now? Oops. I don't know. I think it's hard to see what the color's chosen, right? Can I change color? So this one here, I wonder if I can change that. Maybe if I do this, format series, can I change the color? Marker, color, red. Did it do it? It didn't do it. Why didn't you do it? I don't know. Anyway. So I got to figure out how to color that. But what I'm seeing is, and I think this is what it is. I think right here, we've actually achieved a 0.71 in our total paid. Oh, now they're red. Okay. So you see how it started up here. It was all over the place. COVID was included. Outliers were included. We removed COVID and it dove down here. Then I removed the outliers and it went up here. Do you see how this is a more predictive? Now it looks like overall, it looks like the safety program is performing well. Their claim amounts paid is going down. We'll have to investigate 2020 because if there's too many open claims, if this creeps up a little bit, it'll start really angling it up. As far as the count, yeah, including the COVID makes it go straight up, but otherwise it looks like it's going down. So right now, how is the safety program performing? Overall, it looks like it's doing pretty good, except when COVID is included. And so that's something that's going to have to be explored as we move forward. There'll be COVID on one side, and then we're going to have to look at other causes and see if there's any causes or policy class codes or locations that in here are actually going up, even though overall they're going down. Because that's where we want to focus our attention. That's what we want to recommend to management, that here's how things are going for you. I mean, what we found is it looks like from an overall safety and health perspective that things are getting better. Number of claims are going down, costs are going down, except the COVID is giving us this weird jump, at least just for 2020. 2021, we don't fully know too much. It looks like it has come down. The count has come down considerably. So we should do it with and without, or just do it without and just consider what COVID was for those 2 years. That'd be very informative for the company. I think they can kind of breathe a sigh of relief that it may be, or estimate overall how did it affect them? How much did it increase their overall costs and their work comp costs? And then also how it may affect their policy for the next, 3 to 4 years. So that's all I've got for this. That's all I want you to do for this week. Now I've got some labeling to do and some things to move around, but overall we found that, if you take it all together, it's kind of confusing. You start removing outliers, but more specifically, you remove the COVID cases from just 2020, how much that changed and how much that made the forecasting lines better representation of what's going on. So hope this helped.